Today, we're going to step onto a magical island to really unpack a masterfully told lesson. It's this incredible story of betrayal, manipulation, and, in the end, mercy. But this is so much more than just a play. It's a really carefully built parable about what power is, and that long, hard road to forgiveness. So, our story kicks off with absolute chaos. There's a ship, and it's being ripped to shreds by this unbelievable storm. But here's the thing. This is no random act of nature. Nope, this Tempest is actually the first move in a huge, calculated game. An illusion conjured up by a man who has been waiting 12 long years for this exact moment. So, here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll look at the grand design of the magician behind it all. Then, we'll get into a love story that's literally forged by trial. After that, we'll see how that love story leads to the marriage of whole kingdoms. And finally, how it all builds to the toughest act of all, forgiveness. Okay, let's dive into Act 1. To really get what this storm is about, we have to understand the man who cooked it up, the wrong Duke of Milan, Prospero. He's turned this island where he was exiled into a stage for his own elaborate comeback. 12 years. Just think about that. That's how long Prospero has been stuck on this remote island with his daughter, Miranda. Kicked out by his own brother, he spent more than a decade not just surviving, but digging deep into magical arts, building up his power, and just waiting for the perfect time. And the Tempest, that is the moment, the culmination of 12 years of planning and simmering anger.
So you see, Prospero is way more than just a guy looking for payback. On this island, he's the orchestrator. His magic books give him almost total control over the elements, over the spirits living there. He's basically the playwright, the director, and the stage manager of this whole show.
And his plan? Well, it's got layers. Of course, he wants to shipwreck his enemies and get his title back as the Duke of Milan. But it's so much more complicated than that. He's got to secure a powerful future for his daughter. And maybe most importantly, he wants to put the very souls of the people who wronged him to the test. Are they even capable of feeling sorry?
Now let's get to the real heart of the design, which is kind of like a story inside the main story. It's this carefully engineered romance that's also a deep test of character, and it ends up being the key to Prospero's entire plan.
Prospero doesn't just leave love to chance. He tells his spirit servant Ariel to separate all the shipwreck's passengers and to lead one specific person, Ferdinand, the Prince of Naples, straight to his daughter Miranda. He is literally setting the stage for their first meeting. And boom, the connection is immediate, it's powerful. Miranda, who's never seen another man besides her dad, thinks Ferdinand must be some kind of divine spirit, and Ferdinand, who thinks his own father just drowned, is still totally captivated by her. And the whole time, Prospero is watching from the shadows, making sure this connection is the real deal, not just some fleeting crush.
But this brings up a really big question, right? If a relationship is totally orchestrated, can it actually be real? Prospero knows that love at first sight isn't going to cut it. For this bond to mean anything, for it to actually serve his bigger plan, it has to be tested. Its purity has to be proven.
And the trial Prospero comes up with is a harsh one. He accuses Ferdinand of being a spy, takes away his title, and forces him to be a servant. The Prince of Naples is suddenly a common laborer, forced to haul heavy logs. It's a test of his humility, his endurance, and what his character is really made of when you strip everything else away.
And Ferdinand? He passes this test with flying colors. He actually finds the backbreaking work joyful. Not because he likes hauling logs, but because it lets him be near Miranda. His love completely transforms a punishment into this willing, devoted act of service. And that is the proof Prospero was waiting for.
And hey, this isn't just a one-sided test. Miranda sees Ferdinand struggling, and she's so moved by empathy that she offers to do the work for him. Her selflessness shows that she's just as worthy as he is. Their love is proven to be this bond of mutual devotion, not just simple attraction. Now, their bond, which was forged in this trial, has consequences that go way beyond just the island. This really personal test has massive political implications. This isn't just about two young kids in love, this is about the future of two rival states. So, with the trial over, Prospero finally removes the obstacles. Ferdinand and Miranda are totally free to confess their love and pledge themselves to each other. Their bond, now that it's been tested by hardship and proven genuine, is strong enough to handle what's coming next. And here is the real genius of it all. Their marriage is Prospero's ultimate political solution. It's designed to finally unite the long feuding families of Milan and Naples through a powerful royal alliance. This love story is the very tool that's going to bring lasting peace and secure his daughter's future.
So to celebrate, Prospero the playwright puts on a show. He conjures up this amazing magical performance. It's called a masque, which is like this fancy court entertainment, with spirits and music to honor their engagement. It's this moment of pure theater magic, but it gets cut short when he suddenly remembers a murder plot against him. A pretty stark reminder that even his incredible power has its limits. All right, so now let's see how this successful love story, this inner parable, is what finally allows Prospero to complete his own much bigger journey. A journey from a man just burning for revenge to one who's capable of mercy. The genuine selfless love that he sees between Ferdinand and Miranda, it acts like a catalyst. It reminds him that there's a virtue that's even higher than vengeance. Their story gives him the moral compass for his own, pushing him to face the final and most difficult part of his entire design. So after bringing his enemies to their knees and seeing that they're truly sorry, Prospero makes this profound choice. He realizes that the rarer action, the more noble path, is virtue, not vengeance. Anybody can get revenge. It takes real strength to forgive. He vows to give it all up, to drown his magic staff and bury his books and get ready to rejoin the world, not as a sorcerer, but just as a man. So in the end, every single piece of his grand design just clicks perfectly into place. His dukedom is returned to him, the feuding families are now united, and by giving up his supernatural power, Prospero himself restores the natural order that was broken 12 years ago. The parable is complete. But hold on, there's one final twist. After setting everyone else free, Prospero, the master orchestrator, turns to us, the audience. His power is gone, he can't leave the island without our approval. His final act is to ask for our pardon, leaving us with this amazing question: what does it truly mean to be free?